Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is doing well. In today's video, I'm going to show you my most favorite, my most used, my most reached for makeup of 2021. I have a set of makeup for drugstore as well. This is all from Sephora and high-end with the exception of two things. But if you would like to see a drugstore version of this, I would love to do so. So please comment down below. So if you're new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe. You mean so much to me. And now let's get right into the video. So I'm going to go quick through this. I'm not going to bore you with descriptions, what everything does. I'm just going to go through what I really reach for and love the most. I think my biggest category is probably bronzers because I love bronzers so much. So I'm going to start in order of how we apply it on the face. For brows, I reach for two things. These are my most reached for. One of them is the Urban Decay Double Down Brow. This is in the shade dark brown. I love this because it's such a quick way to do your brows. It comes with the two shades right there. Very easy. It literally took me 10 seconds to do my brows. And my next one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Dip Brow Pomade in the shade dark brown. Another beautiful fast brow product, which that's what I love. So those are my two favorite brow products that I reached for on a daily basis. Now moving on to primers. My most used primer is the Supergoop Glow-screen, and this is the SPF 40. I love this one because it has a little bit of tint and it also has a little bit of glow, and in addition it's SPF 40, so this is very good for your skin. So this is the one I reach for the most. I like to use it sparingly because I don't want to run out of it. It's quite expensive. So I use a SPF in cream version, and then I add a little bit of this on top. That way I don't have to use so much of this. And my next product is the Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury. And I love this one to use underneath the eyes. So before I apply my foundation, I apply this underneath my eye area, cheekbones, nose, forehead, and chin. And I'm using this product right now along with the Supergoop as well. So I'll let you know the products I have on my face today, but I'm using this underneath the foundation, and it gives the skin such a beautiful flawless finish, just like the name in the product, and a nice youthful glow to the skin. So I recommend this. You can use it as a highlighter on top of foundation, underneath foundation on your high points, or the best place to put it is underneath your eye area because it gives you that glowy, non-drying underneath the eye area. So it's just a beautiful product for this area right here before you apply your foundation or concealer. My most reached for foundation. I have one foundation and two skin tints. No, two foundation and one skin tint. I am obsessed with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. Mine is in the shade 2. This I have on my face right now. You can see how this is like a medium to full coverage for my face compared to what I normally wear. It's covering all of my imperfections, and it's a beautiful non-drying, very hydrating foundation. I have normal to dry skin, and I love this because I don't even use a full pump. I use the pump just halfway, and it does cover all of my face. If you do use a full pump, you'll notice that it's too much and you'll become cakey because you have too much product on your face. So that's why I love this, because I've had it for almost a year and I still have lots of it. Again, I use it sparingly because I don't want to run out of it. This is another more of a expensive foundation from Sephora. And yeah, this is one of my favorite foundations I reach for. My next one, which is a more affordable version, is the LYS foundation. This is in the shade LN6. This is a triple fix serum foundation. So I love this one because it has skincare benefits. I believe the Charlotte Tilbury has skincare benefits. I would have to go on the website and check. But this is so affordable. The packaging is glass. It's a triangular packaging. I love the bottle. You get a lot of product in here. It's cruelty-free, vegan, and gluten-free. It has turmeric. It has great skincare ingredients, and the coverage is so beautiful, is buildable, so you can build it up. You can go for a very light finish, very natural looking finish, and build it up to cover your imperfection. Definitely recommend this, and it's so affordable. It's buying like a foundation from the drugstore type of affordable. And my most recent one, I love the Fenty Beauty skin tint as well. This one right here, it's not in my favorites because I honestly have not reached for it as much. I just purchased it and I haven't used it as much. But my most used skin tint is the Beauty Blender Bounce Skin Tint. This is in the shade Light 4. Make sure you check out, they have so many shades, and if you're fair, don't go for the light one thinking that that's your match. I'm very fair and I went for the light 4, and this is a perfect match. It comes with a pipette. It's not as messy as the L'Oreal Serum foundation for some reason. I don't know, the dropper is different, but this is a radiant skin tint. Again, it gives you that nice natural skin like finish, a little bit of glow. It covers enough to cover your imperfection. It is just a very beautiful skin tint. I love this one. Now moving on to concealers. For concealers, I have two. One is more recent and one is less recent. So the creamy one that I really enjoy using, which I have on my underneath my eye area today, is the Lancome All Over Concealer. This is in the shade BISW. I love this concealer. Oh, 250 as well. I don't know, it has a name here and also 250 on the back. But this is such a beautiful concealer. If you have aging skin, like a little bit of lines underneath the eye and more dry area, which I do, this concealer is beautiful. It does not emphasize your lines. It does not dry your skin. It hydrates your skin and it looks gorgeous underneath your eyes. It gives it that nice brightening effect with a little bit of coverage. Beautiful concealer to have in your collection. Definitely recommend this one. Another concealer that I really enjoy, and it's more of a high coverage concealer, is this NARS concealer in the shade Light 1. I don't have this one underneath my eye because I thought the foundation is already more of a full coverage, so I didn't want to have too much on my face. But this is such a beautiful concealer. I highly recommend it. It looks kind of like the MAC paint pot. It's just beautiful. I'm obsessed with this concealer. And on the no makeup days, you can just add this in like a T-zone and it creates such a beautiful finish. Love this concealer. Now let's move on to my most favorite of the favorites, and that's the bronzers. My most favorite bronzer, and I'm obsessed with this one, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Bronzer. This is in the shade Sunkissed. I have it on my face. The color is a beautiful caramel color. I will show it to you. You can see that I'm using it a lot. And this type of shade is my favorite. For some reason, it has a caramel. It has, I don't know, it's kind of like that nice glow after you get a tan, and the tan kind of fades away and it gives you this nice golden tan. This is my favorite bronzer by far. I've been reaching for this all of the time, and on top of this, I love to go with three things you can. But I love to use the LYS bronzer. This is in the shade Motivate Light. Now this bronzer on top of this Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer is just stunning. So I'll put it beside so you can see. This is the LYS, and let's add a little bit on top of the Anastasia bronzer. Oh, these two together is just a nice golden look. I love that so much. It's a great combo together. So this is another very affordable powder bronzer. The Anastasia is a cream bronzer. Now, I don't have the List bronzer today, but I do have the Natasha Denona Bronze Cheek Face Glow Palette. Now, the Natasha Denona Bronze Cheek Face Glow Palette, a beautiful, stunning palette. I've used a combo of this two on top of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Bronzer. It sets the cream bronzer in place. That's why I like to use a powder bronzer on top for night number one. Number two, it gives it a nice golden look. It makes it a little bit more intense than just the cream bronzer by itself. But this is a beautiful palette, and I've used these two highlighters on my cheekbones, and I just love this palette. This is a great palette to have in your collection. Now, on top of this, I love this Dior palette. This Dior palette is the Dior Backstage Glow Face palette. This is in the shade 001 Universal. And look at this, how much I've been using it. You can see that the print of the Dior is almost gone, especially in here. What I like to do is I like to grab a brush and go through the bronzer and add on top to give it that extra glow so that the bronzer on the face doesn't look too mattifying. I like the extra glowiness. And then I went with these two together and used it on the high points of the cheek just to emphasize the highlighter on the cheek that you already have and the blush. So this is another one of my favorites in my collection. This two I use non-stop. And some of my most recent bronzer is the Nude Sticks Terracotta 10 bronzer. I love this one because it's just more of an intense bronzer. However, when you blend it, it's very similar to this combo right here that I did with the Anastasia Beverly Hills and the List bronzer. So it comes out more red, but when you blend it, it turns into that nice 10 glowy golden glow 10 on your face. And this is a multi-stick, so you can use this on the eyes, lips, and your cheek as the bronzer. So this is a beautiful product that's easy to travel with. On the other end, it comes with a brush, which is removable, so you can wash it in case you forget to pack your favorite brushes, but definitely recommend this guy. I've used it in some of my most recent videos, and you can see how it looks on the face. Now let's move on to blushes. I picked the Patrick Ta blush in the shade She's So LA, and I have that on my face right now. And I've added this one first and then the balmy version on top so that it gives it that wet type of glowy look. I love this shade so much because it's kind of like a bronzer. So I love bronzers, right? So this is not a pink or red type of blush, but it's that nice neutral brown terracotta type of shade blush, and I love this so much. This is my favorite. In the more of a stick cream version, I really love this Anastasia Beverly Hills stick blush in the shade Peach Caramel. This is a beautiful blush. Look at this. Barely touched it, and when you blend it again, it's that nice bronzy type of blush. These are the blushes that I gravitate towards, and I just love it. This is beautiful. Beautiful on the face. Again, this stick comes with a brush at the other end, kind of like the Nude Stick bronzer. So this in combo with this is like a match made in heaven. Love it. Now let's move on to highlighters. What I have on my face today, like I said, I have the Dior highlighter, the Natasha Denona bronze highlighter inside there, just a little bit, barely see it on the face. But what gives it this nice glow is the Merit highlighter. I wanted this for a while. They were kind enough to send me another holiday bag edition with 2 more products, and I chose this one. I have that video as well on my channel, but this highlighter is just so stunning. It's so balmy looking. It is beautiful. So like I said in my Merit video, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's very hard to see. Oh, right there. You see this? Beautiful, beautiful highlighter. Very balmy. It gives me the impression like you're adding Vaseline on your face without that sticky version of Vaseline. The hair doesn't get stuck to your face when using this product. My favorite way to use this product is you grab a brush, you dip it inside and you apply it to the face. It does not lift up your bronzer, blush, or your foundation. It applies beautifully and melts into the skin. I definitely recommend. This is my favorite product from Merit. Oh, did I mention the Merit one is in the shade Kava? I'm gonna have everything linked down below so you guys can see the exact shades in case I forget to mention it. My next product is the Melt in the shade Stargazer. This is the Melt highlighter, but this highlighter, you get a lot of product in here. I love it. It's very similar to the Rare Beauty one. That's another favorite of mine, but I can't include everything. Is basically what I've been reaching for lately that I want to include in this video. It comes with a pump. I pumped this much out, which is a lot, and it's just, I don't know, it has a golden shift with a champagne shift at the same time. It's a lot of product. A little bit goes a long way. This is going to last you a lifetime. This product is also good to apply to your whole body. If you want to highlight this area here, is just going to be beautiful. And my next highlighter is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Glow Highlighter in the shade Perla. You've guys seen me use this a lot on my channel. It's a squeezy tube and it's more on the champagne side. So when we apply it here, look at that. So beautiful. It's icy, but not that type of icy that looks yucky on your face. This is just a beautiful, nice glow. A little goes a long way. Love this. So easy to travel, very light, and I think it's on sale at Sephora. And now let's move on to powders. For powders, you guys know I love my Pat McGrath powder. This is the under eye fetish powder. You can see that my dome is shrinking, and this is my favorite powder to use underneath my eye area or set my eyelids when I put concealer on my eyelids. This is one of my favorite. I will definitely purchase this. You can use it all over the face. It's a more expensive product, so when you use it all over the face, you just run out of it faster. Now, these are my most recent powders, which I'm using today. So the Pat McGrath I'm using underneath my eyes, and this is the Jouer. This is in the shade Fair, and this Jouer powder is stunning. I'm using it all over the face to set the face. It does not dry up my skin at all. I cannot use powders much because I have more of a dry skin, so it kind of shows my imperfection. It settles into the fine lines. This one doesn't. This is perfect, and it still lets my face glow through the powder. You cannot see that I have powder, but it does make my makeup last all day. So I love this powder. My next one is the Makeup Forever HD powder. I love this. This is in the shade 1 Vanilla, and this powder is amazing. It just makes your face like your face got photoshopped. And again, this does not dry my face and it does not settle into my fine lines. This is a loose powder, as you can see, and there's a lot of product here, and I love this. I've been using it a lot, so I'm alternating between these two depending on what I feel. Again, this is a loose powder, so sometimes a little bit more messy because the powder comes out, so that's why sometimes I gravitate to this when I'm in a rush. Love these two powders so much. Now let's move on to two little things. My favorite mascara is the Essence Princess Lash Mascara. You guys know I'm using this on my eyes right now. And the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Gel Liner. This is a beautiful liner to create a wing. This is very easy to use for beginners. You cannot mess this up. And this liner is waterproof. So I got mine in the shade, I have a couple. This is in the shade Smooth Walnut, and I have a darker one which is in the shade Bold Brown, and I have a black one as well, but I just purchased this brown ones because I think it gives a nice soft look to the eye, and you can see I've used it underneath my eye and as a small wing today. Definitely recommend this from the drugstore. I had to include them in this video. And for palettes, okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 palettes. I'm gonna start with the biggest one. This has been my favorite of the year. I was not gonna purchase it in the beginning because I did not know if I like cool tones, but the Natasha Denona Glam palette is one of my favorite palettes I own. All of these shades are wearable. I love that she named them where you can place them, or you can follow this as she tells you, which is good for beginners, or you can do your own thing. You can use 1 shade, 2 shades, you can use all 4 shades all over the eyes. The color story is just beautiful. I love that there's a little bit of warmth in some of them, and the cool tones are some of my favorite. I just love this, and Natasha Denona formula is amazing. This is a more pricey palette, so it's good to get it on sale if you find it, but this palette is just stunning. I love the shades. Now moving on with a most recent palette by Natasha Denona that I purchased is the Natasha Denona Mini Gold Palette. I really want the gold palette. I asked Santa for it, so let's see if I'm gonna get the big one. But this is just beautiful. Look at this shade. So today I'm using this shade only on the bottom lash line, and the rest, another of the palettes that I'm gonna talk about on my eyelid. But these are my favorite shades. I love the greens, the golds, and the browns, and this darker shade right here. Oh yeah, I'm using this shade as well. I've added on the bottom lash line for extra sparkles. So definitely recommend this one if you're into mustards, greens, and browns. Now here is a palette that I've reached for a lot. This is a very expensive palette. This is $110 Canadian. It's only a quad, and this is by Tom Ford. It opens like this, guys. If you're new to Tom Ford like I am, it does not open. You don't pull this out, you don't pull this down. You just pull the top. I made that mistake. I've been trying to open it that way. It comes with the 2 brushes, but mine, this is in the shade 04 Suspicion. I definitely recommend this one. This is what I wear every day, and when I put this on my eyes, it just looks 10 times more stunning than it looks in the actual palette here. The shades are just perfect. I use all 4 shades every time I do my eye. I start with this guy right here as transition. I move on to this guy in my crease. I move on to this guy all over my eyelid, or you can use it in the outer corner of your eye and add this light one in the inner corner. And then I use this one for my inner corner and brow bone area as well. Beautiful palette. You can use it on a daily basis. Very easy for beginners. Neutral but very sophisticated looking, glam looking. I love this palette and I definitely recommend it. I got this as a gift. Otherwise, I could have not bought it because it's $110, but I want to try more of Tom Ford's. I love this shades or more greens, not into reds or oranges that much, but maybe light purples, and with this shades, oh, so beautiful. Now, another palette that I really love, it's very similar to the Tom Ford. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Luxury Palette in the shade Green Lights. This is my favorite. Again, it's the green shades that got me. You can see the beautiful green shades, very similar to the Natasha Denona. She's a little bit more green pigmented. Again, these shades I use in the same style as I use the Tom Ford. This I use as a transition. This I use in the crease, this all over the eyelid or the outer corner, this more in the middle, in the inner corner. It is such a beautiful palette. I just love this quads. So easy to store, so easy to travel with. That's why I love quads and the small palettes more, because you gravitate towards them more because they're not very overwhelming when you look at them, and I just love them. On my lips today, I have the Sephora Lip Stories in the shade Love Love, which is this lipstick right here, and I love this shades so much. So this, I'm gonna swatch them all for you guys. This is what's on my lips today. Love this shade, my favorite shade. So my favorite lipsticks are the Sephora Lip Stories lipsticks. This is in the shade 68, which is Metal. I will swatch it right beside it. So beautiful. This has some sparkles in it, but you don't see them on the hand. Beautiful, beautiful lipsticks. Another one I love is the number 74, and this is Off the Grid. Oh, what did I call the other one? Spark. This one was Spark. You can see the fireworks on it. This is Off the Grid, and I think they have a sale right now. This is another beautiful, ooh, neutral nude color, more deeper than the other one. And here's my last one that I have, number 65, in the shade Spiked, which spiked because of the cactuses on it. So cute. I love. They're all made in Italy as well. And this has more of a movie undertone. Now, those are my favorite shades from the Sephora Love Stories collection. No, Sephora Lip Stories collection, not Love. Aren't they pretty? It's just they're my favorite. They last a long time. I've been filming this video with this lipstick on my lips, and look how beautiful it lasts on the lips. And for setting spray, I don't have many setting sprays that I love, but I fell in love with this one. Look at the color. This is not shaken, so it's blue and green, and when you shake it, it kind of combines together. You're supposed to shake it before you apply it, and it looks like this turquoise ocean water. This is the Milk Hydro Grip Set Refresh Spray, and this is the mini one. I'm gonna purchase the big one once I run out of it, but I love this. The spray is beautiful. It does not like come as a jet on your face. It's very fine mist. The smell I don't like as much. It doesn't bother me. It goes away. It just smells like a setting spray. It doesn't have like a nice vanilla coconut smell. I love what it does to the makeup. It sets the makeup in place. It makes the makeup last longer. It grips your makeup to the face. That's why it's called the Hydro Grip Set Refreshing Spray. It also refreshes your face, and I love the color and the bottle. So I definitely recommend this guy. So yeah, these are all my products. I didn't want to bore you with too much details. You've seen these products in all of my other videos where I went more in depth about them. But I hope you guys really enjoy it. I would love to hear what your most favorite product of 2021 is, or multiple products that you have. Make sure you comment down below and leave me a comment with your favorites, and let me know if you enjoy any of my favorites, or are you adding them to your wish list to purchase in the future? Would love to talk to you guys down below. So anyways, if you are new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe. It will mean so much to me. Always remember to be yourself. Have a wonderful day, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Love you guys. Bye.